In the previous video, I introduced the idea of a request struct into a contract. I'm going to start working on the create request function here, this one here, and also create the requests array, okay? So to actually create a request and have it stored inside the contract, I'm going to make an array that specifically holds the value of type request, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And it's going to be public, and it's going to be request. So, all right. So notice that I'm using capital R, and that's because I use capital R up top here to define the struct. And by convention, we use capital for first letter when defining a struct, which is dissimilar to how we do our other type definitions. This variable of type, excuse me, of type request is given the name requests. And now anywhere in my contract, I can make use of the request array. So that means I could do something like, requests.push, or I could do something like, give me requests with the index of 0, things like that. All right, so let's move on by working on the create requests function, which is this one here, create request function, that will be called by the manager to create a new variable type request and add it into our requests array. Okay, so I'm probably only going to want a manager to call this function. I don't want a contributor or a random person to call it. Only the manager should be able to create a request. Otherwise, some random person can come and make some fraudulent request to pay some bad person all the money inside the contract. So I need to ensure that I lock down or restrict access to the create request function. To lock down access, I need to create a function modifier. I want to lock down create request and finalize request. So I want to lock down these two, create request function and finalize request function, okay? So to lock down that access, I'm going to create a function modifier. And traditionally, function modifiers are placed above the constructor function. So right over here, so here's the, so right above it, I'm going to say modifier and restricted. Okay. And so I'm going to require that whomever is making the request has the exact same address as whoever has created the contract, which will be the manager variable. And that's going to look like so. So require message.sender to be equal to manager. Okay. And what's it saying here? Modifier body does not, oh yeah, I'm getting to that. All right, so a modifier will take another function and paste it into the body of the modifier. And we mark where we want the code to be virtually pasted by pasting an underscore. And I'm going to paste the underscore right below here like so. And then don't forget a semicolon with that. So that's what that error was complaining about. All right, so this introduces a modifier called restricted that can be added to any given function in the contract. I only want to lock down and restrict access to create request and finalize request functions, which I haven't created yet. So in a subsequent video, I'm going to start working on the create request function. See you then.